Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about how to make your ex chase you. Well, a lot of times after a breakup, we just feel like things aren't going to turn around, that our ex is over us, they're going to move on, and they're never going to give us another chance. And when you're hearing a title like How to Make Your Ex Chase You, you're probably thinking, not in my situation. But I can tell you, I've been doing this for a very long time and studying and understanding breakups for many, many years, okay? And it can turn around, and you actually can get your ex to chase you. But there are certain things that you have to do and certain things that you have to avoid. So today we're going to talk about this because if you think about it, there's a good chance that at some point of your relationship, your ex had chased you. Think about it. Since you've known each other, there's probably been at least some point of that relationship where they were more interested in you, they were coming on strong, and they were kind of making you feel like, I don't even know if I'm happy in this situation. I'm not too sure here. It happens all the time. Dynamics change and shift. And just because right now they're acting like they're not interested or they may not be interested, it doesn't mean it will always stay that way. So remembering that they chased you before, or there's a good chance of it, even if it was a brief time during your relationship, can be very helpful to remind yourself that they have chased me before, so they can do it again. All right? Now, the other thing you have to understand is think about chasing. Think about two people chasing each other. Think about kids playing, right? Play, like relationships are supposed to be playful and fun. So think about two kids playing and they're chasing each other, or one is chasing the other. You don't see both people chasing each other at the same time. It doesn't work like that. You can't have two people chasing each other at the same time. Like one is usually chasing the other. Like that's how you play tag, or sometimes even, games similar to like hide and seek. But in order for them to chase you, it means you have to stop chasing them. Now think about like hide and seek. Sometimes you play hide and seek, and if you found the person, they could still run away. But have you ever been hiding from the other person when you're a kid and you're waiting for them to find you, and you wait so long that eventually you're like, I guess they're not coming, and then you kind of come out or start to look around, right? That's kind of what happens to your ex if you stop reaching out to them. They start to wonder, are they not gonna reach out to me anymore? Have they lost interest in me in this kind of little game that we're playing here? And I'm not saying, of course, that relationships are a game, but there is an element to chase, especially in the early dynamics of a relationship, right? There's that chase. People love the chase, as they call it. So in order for you to get them to chase you, the first thing you have to do is stop reaching out. That's the only way. You have to let them be, okay? If your ex ended the relationship, and decided they don't want to continue the romantic relationship anymore, you have to respect their decision and allow them that space. You need to let them process it and feel your absence. Think about that hide and seek analogy where you're sitting there wondering if the person is even playing anymore. Over time, you just think, oh, they're not even gonna come find me anymore. And think about that feeling. That's the point I'm trying to get, is that feeling when you're just like, That's the feeling they're going to start to get if you stop reaching out. But they need time to process it, to feel your absence. You can feel somebody's presence, right? You could also feel their absence. And if you give that space to your ex to miss you, they will, okay? I know they're presenting themselves like they won't. They're acting cold. They're acting like they never cared about you, oftentimes. But that dynamic can shift. Okay. So one of the mistakes that I continuously see after a breakup is people reaching out to their ex. They repeatedly reach out. They haven't respected the person's decision because you're trying to change their mind. And I know that feeling where you think we just have to talk about it, and you're looking for any strategy, any technique to get them to talk to you or to give you another chance, really. Some people will say, write a handwritten letter. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's weak, and I had people tell me about that for over a year, 1 year, and I just kept track of all the data. It was very, very poor, okay? And it oftentimes made things worse. Think about this. Have you ever chased after somebody who wrote you a handwritten letter? Probably not, right? A good reminder text. You see, that is still letting people know that you're interested, subtly. You don't have to do those things to turn it around. I know it sounds like it's a powerful thing, but it's often coming from a desperate place. And that's why I don't understand why people recommend it, because it's weak. The strongest, most confident thing you can do is to say, I can handle this. Not literally say it, but to show it with your behavior by respecting somebody's decision. Time and time again, you'll see comments from people that leave their ex alone, that they come back, okay? Now, your ex is going through a process. They're going to grieve. They're going to miss you. They're going to have to think about how their life is going to change. Maybe you're married with kids. Maybe you dated for 2 years. Maybe you were living together. Maybe you were engaged. Now they're going to have to come to terms with, wow, my life is going to be really different. At first, they think it's going to be great and amazing, but it often changes through time, through grieving, missing you, thinking about all the great things that you brought into their life. When you reach out to them and contact them, it interrupts that process, and it kind of like resets that anxiety that they were feeling, that separation anxiety that we're feeling from you. Now it's like, oh, well, I know they still want me. And so now their interest goes down. So you got to let them experience life without you. All right. Also, if you're reaching out, it doesn't give your ex any mystery or room for curiosity about what you're doing, which would intrigue them, right? If they know they still have you, there's no fear of losing you, okay? So you gotta let them feel that. And it's only gonna happen through time and space, okay? I talk about the disturbance in the force all the time. I don't know why it works like this, if there's some kind of energetic thing within us that we are able to figure out when somebody's kind of moved on, or we sense it. Maybe it has to do with the time and the space and the not hearing from each other, that connection fades and then all of a sudden they feel it. But time and time again, I constantly hear about the disturbance in the force. In other words, think about it. You know, if somebody stops reaching out to you, you can feel that, right? Well, at first, they're defensive. They don't want to hear from you. They want you to leave them alone. But in time, they're going to feel that. They're going to think, oh, wow, I haven't heard from them. I wonder what they're doing. And then they're going to start to wonder about you and even stalk your social media and ask other people about you. Happens all the time. So, don't try to manipulate. This is key. One of the things we do in the beginning especially is try to manipulate. Okay, trying to get what you want, trying to coerce that person to change their mind when they are not interested. And manipulation can come in a lot of different forms. Guilt. You may try to subtly guilt them. You said you'd never leave me. I thought you were going to be here forever. That's not going to reattract them. Pressuring them. You promised me you were going to see that day. Things like that. We get upset. Pressuring them. It's a form of manipulation. Involving other people. I was guilty of this. Trying to talk to friends and family. Would you tell them? Could you find out? It really often makes the situation worse. Begging. That's manipulation. Trying to beg somebody to be with you. It's not going to make them want you. Sometimes they'll give you another chance, but more often than not, that other chance doesn't even last very long because they're like, ugh, I don't really want to do this. I'm just doing it because they were begging and I felt bad for you. You don't want that, okay? So, what you want to do is focus on your issues, okay? Breakups often have a way of revealing our own emotional issues and the areas that we struggle. Our attachment issues, they come out. And that's why so many of you guys love our channel, because we're all about helping you understand mental health and attachment issues, because mental health and attachment go hand in hand, in my opinion. And if you get those attachment issues under control, it's going to make a huge impact on reattracting that person. Okay? So, you'll start to look at your attachment issues, which probably were a big reason you guys broke up to begin with. If you were avoidant, you probably did a certain number of behaviors that turned your partner off. If you were anxious, you would have done a lot of the opposite behaviors to turn your partner off. But when you get secure and show that ultimate form of confidence, people are naturally drawn to you. And if they think that you're growing, and I'm not saying you should reach out to tell them that, because that doesn't work. But if you are truly growing and then they come back around, they're going to know it. They're going to sense it, okay? So, the time away from your ex is actually to your advantage. The time that you use, if you use it wisely to focus on those issues, get into therapy, doing the workbooks of the Creative Healing course, 30 minutes a day, talking about it, obviously, watching the videos or doing a coaching with us, we're going to get you prepared for your situation and the uniqueness of what's going on with you and your ex, okay? So, you don't want to get your ex back and then continue the mistakes. Because I see it all the time. I didn't really do the work. I got my ex back and I stopped doing the work. Now she broke up with me again. Now he broke up with me again. That's the last thing you want, is to have an opportunity and not be ready. So, it's critical that you stay focused on growing, on becoming more enlightened, and having the emotional self-control with the people that you care the most about. That is a true form of confidence. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that the breakup was all your fault by any means. However, you can always improve your life. Anybody can improve their life by truly taking a look at the areas that they struggle, whether it be they're impatient or they're demanding or they're not giving people the closeness they need or helping meet their needs, communicating, all kinds of areas that you can grow. But use this as an opportunity to reprioritize your life. What is most important to you? At the end of the day, most of us, after a breakup, we're like, we don't care about hobbies, we don't care about interests, we don't care about things that we cared about. And we realize the thing we care about the most was the connection with somebody we love. And we lose sight of that when we take people for granted. And that happens oftentimes. We think that they're gonna leave, they're never gonna leave us, they'll stay with us forever. So, use this breakup as an opportunity to reprioritize what's important to you and take a look at your life. How can you improve your life in a way that is meaningful to you? Where aren't you satisfied with your life? Where are you satisfied with your life? Take inventory and look at this. Because I really believe you will never be more motivated than during a breakup to change your life. And this is an opportunity for you. You want your ex to chase you? Then be an even better version of yourself that they even knew. If you are, it's going to be extremely attractive to them. But you have to trust the process. You have to trust that in time, they will wonder about you. In time, they will start to stalk your social media or reach out and do an direct approach to you. That they'll realize they weren't perfect in the relationship. That they made mistakes. That they did things to turn you off at times. And if they can get to a place where they see they weren't perfect, you weren't perfect, but they love you, that's often enough to start fresh and to get them interested in you again. Okay? But If you want them to chase you, you've got to stop chasing them. You've got to stop reaching out to them. They need time and space to feel that disturbance in the force before they start to come and look for you and chase after you. Okay? Stay motivated. The way they feel at the time of the breakup is not necessarily how they're going to feel in time. And you know what? If they don't ever come back for some reason, you're going to be okay and your life is going to be better than it ever was. And that is what we're always focused on with this channel. Okay? So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you want to get my help personally, you can do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.